Hi, everyone. Welcome. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. I'm just waiting on a few more team members to join. Looks like Jasper's coming in and out. I'm not sure if something's wrong. Going to give my team one more minute. If not, I'll just kick things off. Cool. Well, we're 3 minutes in, so I'm going to kick things off right now. But welcome, everyone, to our first Debug and Build Hour. We're really excited to be kicking this off today. I just got one note from my team. Give me one sec. We're really excited to be kicking this off today with everyone. It's the summertime and things kind of slow down for some teams. And so we thought, why not bring together small businesses and enterprise clients that we have, as well as just the broader AI community, to discuss everything that's going on in the industry, but also highlighting what we're also building here at Hyperbolic, and also sharing stories of what others might be building. Today's agenda, we have it displayed here on, I don't know, it's probably on your left. And yeah, just going to walk you guys through what we're going to be discussing today. So right now we're obviously doing the welcome and kickoff. After this, we're going to hand it over to one of our devs on our team who's going to give a product update and share some cool demos. Then we're going to open up the floor to some questions that you might have or things you want to discuss. So feel free to bring up anything that you brought to the table today. And then we're also giving out $100 in compute. Right now, H100s at Hyperbolic are 99 cents per hour. So if you think about it, that's $100 in H100 compute. If you're interested in participating in that giveaway, just make sure to register via the Luma link. I can also post it here in the comments after the intro. And then afterwards, we'll just do a quick wrap up. We will have our CEO on standby, as well as our CTO. So Jasper and Yuchen will be here in case we need to pass off any questions to them. But if not, this entire conversation will be led by our dev team. So yeah, with further ado, I think we should intro ourselves. So my name is Joelle Gloria. I lead marketing here at Hyperbolic. We're a small and mighty team, and yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed all the content and initiatives that we've been pushing out for the community. We are really user-centric, and in the past couple of months, we've been talking to all of our customers and trying to build a better product for you all. So yeah, I hope it's reflecting in the work that we're doing. Anyways, I'm going to pass it off to our devs.
Hi, my name is Amr Hadi. I'm a developer at Hyperbolic, and today I'm going to be giving a demo on our newest product, our Hyperbolic VS Code extension. So without anything more, let's get straight into it. We'll share my screen. right? You have to add it to stage, yeah. Can we remove the agenda and add the my screen to stage, please? Okay, perfect. All right, so I've opened up Cursor here. Our VS Code extension is native to Cursor and VS Code. So now we're going to open a project. The first step we're going to do is we're going to go into the extension marketplace, and then we're going to search for Hyperbolic. And here we have Hyperbolic GPU Cloud. We're going to install the extension. And then now it shows up in our activity bar. So as you can see, there's nothing showing up. That's because we have to set up our credentials. So we can use a shortcut Command comma to go into settings. Then we're going to search Hyperbolic. And then we can add in our Hyperbolic API key. Okay. Okay, we're going to copy our API key here. And we'll recycle this, you can't use it. And then here we're going to save that. And then we're going to restart Cursor. Okay, and then if we go now into the extension, we can see that we can see our details here. So now we're going to go ahead and rent some machines. We're going to rent some H100s. Sorry, give me 1 second. We just pushed like an update, hadn't refreshed on the marketplace. Okay, so we're going to rent 2 GPUs, and then we can choose whether we want to expose a port. So exposing a port allows you to access Jupyter Notebook and VLM through a public URL. So for this machine, we're going to expose port 9999. And then we're going to rent also 2 A100s. And then we're also going to expose, for example, port 6666 on this one. And then we can rent a 4090 as well, and we don't need to expose a port here. Okay, so we're going to wait for these instances to start up. Yeah. So these instances are starting up here. So in the 4090, for example, we can start by SSHing in the current project. It'll run the SSH, and then now we could run, for example, NVIDIA SMI to see our details. And then if you want, you could install some dependencies and do whatever you'd like here. We have here our A100s just booted up. So we can now showcase the next tool, which is serving a dedicated model on an endpoint using VLM. So for this, we will take some parameters. In these parameters, we'll need Hugging Face model. So we'll serve the VLM model. We'll paste in DeepSeek over here. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit bigger. So we can put DeepSeek here. And then if you want to specify a tokenizer, for some models you will have to. For example, Mistral, you can specify that, but we don't need to. And then you can choose whether it's a public or gated model. In settings, if you're using a gated model, you would need to set your Hugging Face token. This is a public model. And then we'll show live terminal setup. So then it'll start by installing curl, and then it'll install UV. And then while these dependencies get set up, we can showcase our third feature, which is one-click Jupyter Notebook server startup. So on the H100, we can press run Jupyter Notebook server, and then it'll work in the background. So as you can see here, it checks for sudo, installs pip, then it'll go through the dependencies it has to manage. Then it'll stop like any existing commands, and then we'll send a Jupyter Notebook command to launch. And then here it'll give you this pop-up where you can now open Jupyter Notebook. And this is a public URL. And then now, for example, you can open a new notebook. And then it'll auto-select the kernel with the GPU. And if you want to verify, you can use NVIDIA SMI here. And you can see our dual H100s. And then, for example, we can define like a simple function. And we can call it here. There we go. And then hopefully by then our model DeepSeek is still loading on this on the dual A100s. As you can see, we've had cleaned up existing VLM, started VLM, and then it's downloading the models now. So we'll just give it a little bit to download the models. And then while this is running, we can actually showcase another option where you can actually open the remote workspace of the GPU. So if you press this option here, open remote workspace, then you can select the platform, Linux. Then you can verify the host. And then it takes a second to boot up into the remote machine. We can check on our model serving with VLM here. So it downloaded the weights, showcases some logs here. Okay, so this machine has opened up. We can make this a little bit larger. So we can now open our command line. Okay, so for example, we can CD into home. And then here, for example, you could run like NVIDIA SMI once more to make sure we're on the right machine. Oh. There we go, our 4090. And then if you wanted to, you could also do like create some Python files, which you can edit directly in VS Code here. And if you wanted to do like offline batch inference or setting up like a training script directly through VS Code, then you could set it up in the editor and run on the machine through the command line. And then here, now back to our VLM setup. We have application startup complete. So now what we can do is we can go into Warp. And then what we can do is we can now send a request to the model. So in order to send this request, let me clear this. we want to first get the public URL, which is actually the same URL that exists on the model page. So custom port with this following URL. It'll print it out here nicely and right here. So you can grab this URL. And then we can change this. So it's the same OpenAI compatible V1 completions. And then now you can send, for example, in order to run a marathon. And then here, in order to run a marathon, a person must be able to run 26 miles, for example. And then now we can see the logs here. So I believe I can actually send this in the StreamYard if you guys want to test this out. So it is a public URL. So if you guys send this on your machine, you should be actually able to hit the endpoint. And we can open up the logs here to see everyone sending in. Make sure you're formatting the request. It might have gotten messed up from the chat. Make sure it looks exactly like this. We do have 600 people on the call, so we might be hitting some rate errors. Okay, yeah. Okay, I see that we're getting some like 200s. Okay, so for some people it's hitting, and maybe some people are hitting some rate errors. I think if you're testing it in like a more like local environment with a set number of users, should definitely hit a better response. Yeah, so we're getting some 200s. Okay, it looks like it's working for some users now. Okay, yeah, so that's our newest VS Code extension. Hopefully you guys will all download it and use it in your current workflow. We have, again, opening remote workspace, which allows you to edit files directly within the GPU. You can SSH in the current project. You can also run one-click Jupyter Notebook startup, and you can serve dedicated model endpoints using VLM. And then finally, when you're all done, you can terminate the instance directly through the UI. And so we're going to shut everything down now. So anyone sending in requests won't be hit because we're going to shut down the model. Okay. Thank you so much for watching our demo today. Hopefully we can send in this extension in the chat and you guys can all download it. So this is the identifier. And now we can open it up to any questions for anyone who's interested in our what we offer compute inference, and we have our team here who can answer other questions about the services that we provide. All right, thank you so much. All right, Joelle, I'll pass it on to you.
Okay, great. Yeah, so next, awesome. Just wanted to remind everyone that the Luma event is actually closed now. So if you didn't register, that's okay. We're going to be here again next week, hopefully. So you'll be able to claim or be entered to claim $100 in compute credits. But just wanted to give everyone the heads up. The event is now closed on Luma, so you can't register anymore, but you could come back on Tuesday. And in a few minutes, we'll be doing that giveaway. Next, we were going to do a live Q&A. So if anybody wants to share any questions here in the chat, we can queue them up for the team.
Okay, so we have a question here from Adjaver. What's the easiest way to run a Jupyter Notebook when renting a GPU? So you can use our VS Code extension, which allows you to do one-click Jupyter Notebook setup. Just make sure that when you set up the extension, that you configure your API key as well as your SSH private key path. And then you should be able to run the Jupyter Notebook directly. And if you want to do it manually, then you would just do pip install notebooks and run it through there. Thank you for your question. Any other questions?
Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Yeah, so basically, thanks for the questions. Like, apart from dedicated hours on GPUs, there should be an easy path to inference for most common models. Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's if you have checked Amar's demo. Basically, we show how to use the VS Code extension to run VLM locally on remotely on the GPUs. But soon we're gonna have one-click model hosting on our dashboard, so you can easily spin up any models you want bypassing the Hugging Face URL. And if anyone else like this use case, feel free to share in the comments, and we can prioritize that features for you. Yeah.
And if you're not familiar with our models page, we have a lot of open source models already hosted. I actually shared my screen if, Joel, you want to switch the view. Yeah, so we have already so many models hosted on our platform. DeepSeek R1, 528, 324. We have Llama models. We even have like the base models as well, which you can interact directly. And we have here Python examples, TypeScript examples, curl examples. which you can use directly from our platform without hosting them yourself.
And we see another questions that Tonic shared. Are there any throttles or issues like that with batch request of like 10K requests over like maybe an hour, something like that? I think it really depends on the model size and also the GPU power. For example, if you want to run Llama 3 8 billion model, the throughput is way faster compared to running DeepSeek R1, which is like a more than 400 plus billion parameters model. And so we are also doing some like benchmarking for different models running on different GPUs. And this is basically the answer that the question that we try to answer in the future. Like if you have any requests that you want to run a model like 10,000 times in an hour, then we'll based on your like request on the model, then we can provide the answer to you based by providing a GPU calculator. Yeah, thanks for the feedback.
And as well as like the one-click VLM through the VS Code extension, we also have the option where you can SSH directly into the machine, as I showed. And then from there, you can set up your own script to run the model. And you can adjust your parameters and adjust your configuration as such to manage these throttling issues. Yeah, so like the purpose of these like demos is to showcase the tools that we build to make compute and AI accessible for developers and more. So please let us know if you have any feedback on your workflow and what tools you'd like to see for your development, and we'll do our best to supply them.
I think we got one question here. If we want to answer this one. Let me just double check on X. Give me one sec. Yeah, if you have any questions for the team, please leave them in the X comments if you're watching us on X Live. I think I'll send this to the team.
Yeah, so Katerina has another question. Is there a data encryption option in case I want to send some sensitive data to a model via curse? Yeah, I mean, because we're using HTTPS, so your data is encrypted through the way when you send it to our API. I think the biggest concern that you have is you don't want us to see your data, and we have a zero data policy. Basically, any data that you send to us, we won't store it on our platform. So we can make sure that like your data is private, and we gonna work with like very compliant data centers to provide very high security guarantee endpoints, so we can make it more compliant. And another option that you can do is, if you are technical enough, then you can basically just rent GPUs from our GPU marketplace, and you can host models on your own and use it for your applications.
Yeah, and when you install the VS Code extension, make sure you screenshot and tag us on X and showcase what you're using it for. and comment as well, like what features stood out to you most. All right. Are there any other questions in the comments? I don't see any. Move on.
Cool. Well, I'll need like 5 minutes to get the giveaway sorted, and I'll share my screen so we could do it live with everyone. But maybe Jasper, you could talk about our latest launches and maybe also talk about what's coming. I also have a QR code here for our future launch if you want to direct people there.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, so probably I should introduce myself first. Sorry, I didn't have the chance because I saw so many great questions that I want to answer first. So I'm Jasper. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Hyperbolic. I did my math PhD at UC Berkeley. I finished in 2 years, which made me the fastest person to finish a PhD. And our mission at Hyperbolic is that we want to democratize AI innovation and accelerate AI development. So we starting seeing there's a lot of problems around, like for my friends, that getting access to GPUs. They have a great talents, they have great ideas, but they just can't access like 1,000 H100s for like 1 or 2 months for their experiments. So we think about that problem, and a natural thought is like, should we just build more data centers and provide more GPUs to them? But actually, that's not the right solution. If you look at the utilization rate of GPUs that rented by data companies, on average, the utilization rate is only like 15% to 20%. And so actually the key problem is the utilization rate needs to be improved a lot. So what we are trying to build is we're building this orchestration layer that aggregate global GPUs. We work with like tons of different data centers that have enterprise grade GPUs like H100s, B200, A100, and we automatically route user requests to different data centers. We have very good price for different GPUs. So currently on our marketplace, we have H100 for only 99 cents. I think it's the lowest across the world. And we hear a lot of users' feedback saying that you want more reliable GPUs. And so we're going to launch our business cloud, which is production ready GPU options that provide 99.5% uptime, but still have a lot of price advantage. Basically, we're 70% cheaper compared to big AI clouds. We also have another option, which is enterprise cloud. So we know that some users, they want reserved GPUs instead of on-demand GPU. Basically, you might want to have 500 GPUs, H100 for 1 or 2 months. In this case, a lot of data centers, they don't have API to support that. And so what we do is we already vetted like the best quality GPUs data centers, and we will help you to reserve those GPUs. And what we can guarantee is we can make sure the onboarding process is pretty smooth. We can make sure it can be done within 2 days once we sign a contract. So if you need bulk GPU rental, you feel free to contact us, and we're happy to solve your problem. And the goal of Hyperbolic is basically we try to solve your AI infrastructure problem. We start with GPU, but gradually we're also trying to solve your AI inference problem. As you may know, we host a wide range of AI models on our platform since April last year, and we have served 190K developers on our platform. And we're very proud that we make a lot of AI applications become possible. And we love to continue like chatting with you guys and hear your feedback. I think there is another questions shared on X. So the question is, are you planning to offer GPU rental from Europe? And that would be nice because data production runs. And the answer is yes. We currently have a few Europe data centers working with us. We're gonna first provide that as the reserve option. So say if you have GPU need for 1 or 2 months or several weeks, you just reach out to me or to my team, and we can help you to find the best European data centers. And gradually, we're gonna do the business cloud option for Europe as well. So you will be able to just use our dashboard to rent any GPUs that you want, anytime you want, and you will be able to terminate them anytime that you want as well. All right. I think we already have so many questions now, and I'm really excited that we hear your voice, and we will prioritize your needs, and that we'll consider that into our next sprint in 2 weeks, and you will see the new features that will deliver to you. Thanks.
Beautiful. Now, there's a bit of an echo. Now we'll go into the giveaway. So $100 of compute credits. We're just using this random wheel of names that we found. It works quite well. If you are not on the call and you're watching this later on, I'm so sorry, but you could come back Tuesday to try to win again. But we will only choose people who are on the call. And so it's going to get a little complicated because this is on X, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So please reply in the comments in the X post or reply on the YouTube or LinkedIn comments to let us know you're here. Cool. Let's see who our first winner is. Is this winner here? I'm just going to stop sharing while we wait. Is the winner here? No. I can share my screen again. Give me 1 minute.
Someone wants to move on.
Yogesh Roy at Gmail, are you here? Okay. Hugo, are you here? We'll wait 2 minutes. There's 1,000 people watching, so this is Biz Tubo.
I think let's just do it one more time, and if the winner is not here, I think we should still give him the prize.
Okay, cool. So do one more time.
Let's go.
Okay. Great. Well, I guess we'll be emailing these people afterwards. $100 giveaway turned into $300 giveaway. 300 hours of compute being handed over today.
Thanks. Yeah, and then I saw the comment that Ryo shared. I think really appreciate that everyone that shared the questions with us, and we'll also give you some compute credits too. So we'll write down your names and then we'll contact you later. Thanks.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. We'll be back hopefully on Tuesday. We're going to send out a survey for those who did attend, so you could send us some feedback and we can edit the structure a little bit for next week. But yeah, thanks so much and enjoy your Tuesday.
Thanks. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. We believe that we should build in public, and that's why we want to start the office hour. I know the first time is not the perfect format, but we feel free to send your feedback to us, and we'll make sure the next one is even better. And we'll keep going, keep building. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks, guys.